which of course brings up something else. Everybody should have a means of self-defense. We're going to stop short of a gun advocacy here, but a gun is the best means of self-defense.
Yeah, what's wrong with gun
in a situation like that? Well, some people live in areas where they're not legally allowed to have guns.
Right, that's apparently a problem.
That would be a problem. And of course, you can't say go out and buy a gun without telling them to break the law, which I don't necessarily want to do. I will say that I consider that not to be a legitimate law at all. Nobody's taken my right of self-defense away. I was getting death threats against my life. Working in the bars the way I was, you throw the wrong people out of a bar, they're going to come back on you. But the cops would not give anybody a permit. It was like, they had this game going, this scam where, you really got to know somebody or pay somebody off in order to get a permit. So I don't want to live in any part of the country or any country in which gun ownership is at all impeded or limited. I don't think anybody has any business doing that to you. We have a God-given right of self-defense, and nobody's going to tell me that, that's too bad.
We're endangering the government if we all own guns. That's what they're really afraid of.
Well, that's exactly right. That's what the Second Amendment is.
Yeah.
It's not about hunting. It's not about, being in a militia that the president can send away to a foreign war. That's not what it's about, okay? It's about protecting us from the United States government, which may or may not be legitimate at any point in time, and now it is not legitimate. It's in violation of the Constitution in about 100 ways.
Exactly.
We're in a bad spot here. That's one of the reasons things are getting so much worse than they were before so quickly.
Right. But there's other things. I mean, if you don't have good gun laws in your state or your country, I think in most states and probably countries, pepper spray or tasers even, and your own knife would be legal in most situations, even where guns are illegal. But my recommendations, and I'm sure Chris's would be the same, would be to live somewhere where you had as many of your God-given rights as possible. And that is not in a state that has heavy gun control laws.